And it's Junk Journal January, day 2021. And I'm using two prompts, sets of prompts. One is from Junk Journal January UK, hosted by Vintage Button and Be Happy Stationery on YouTube, and designed by Crafting Dragon Designs. The other set of prompts are here, and they're by Ink and Page Journals. And here's the set of prompts here. The reason I'm using two at this point is because I love the digitals here, the main digitals. These have such cute images of animals, and these are practical. I'm calling that the word. Whether or not you'd agree, I don't know, but these prompts are practical. These are more inspirational, and I'm having fun trying to come up with a meshing of the two prompts. Finished the cover. The cover was just a book that sat on my mother's desk when my growing up years, and I painted it, put gesso, etc. Here are some of the pages so far. And today, the two prompts that we're encouraged to do, for me, two of them, yeah. Flip with home and accordion with rest. All right, and how do you do those two together? Let me show you the flip. I actually went ahead of myself, and I made this frame, which again is another prompt from another day, into a flip. You see, there's the little owls from the Junk Journal UK set of digitals, and they're just hiding behind this prompt. And flips can be different things. Here, this flips. This is what I showed you last Friday using watercolor and salt. I backed the other one with this. And with the Ink and Page digitals, that's this. For the prompt of frame 16, she provided these extra digitals and ideas through her exercise on YouTube. Showed us how to make a frame with a pull-out photo. So, flippy thing with washi tape. This is one of the first times I've used washi tape in this channel, which is surprising because I love washi tape. With a little, I don't know if you'd call it a cluster or embellishment. This is old lace and a key. So here we have a flip, and there's a few other places in here that we have a flip. This is another kind of flip. And this is a flip. And this is a flip. So I only have a few pages left in this journal. I'll be working on adding the prompts to the pages that are already in here, where it makes sense anyhow. So today we want, the flip is already done. We've done a flip. I've done a flip. Enough flips. But it says home is the other part of the inspirational day 20. Home. Okay. Did this flip work for home? I don't know. These little owls sure seem at home together. If I were going to think of something that represents home, a key is basically one of the many things, whether I lived in an apartment or whether I lived in our RV, we did for 5 years as we traveled full time, now in a house, even if you were making your home in a hotel. Obviously, hotels have the key card thingy now, but a key really represents home, because unless you are at home, you don't own a key to where you're living. So that's the home part of that prompt for me, anyhow. Okay, day 21, and I'm working a little bit of ahead, but 21, where's 21? Rest. And the other is accordion. I've made accordion journals before and enjoyed the process thoroughly. So if I were to make an accordion journal, I'm reaching down for my pages that I have so far, and the accordion journal would have to fit onto a page. So within this framework, I'd look for strips. So there's one strip and there's another strip. I can make this into a strip. This is where I had some grief with, yes, my printer. I say it again. So there's 3 strips for I have a second. I printed out 2 of them, so I could use these 2. Let's see. I suppose I could use 2 of these and just cut them down to strips, but let's work with this at this point. In my little basket here, I have extra parts of the digitals. You'll get to see my craft room next Tuesday. I'm part of a collaboration of resetting your craft room, cleaning it up, resetting. I'm in the 4th week, which is about momentum, finding momentum, keeping momentum. And you're going to see my craft room in next Tuesday's video. So you'll see how I keep this basket and why I keep this basket, why it's important to me and why it works. Yeah. That's when my printer gave me black and white. I don't know why. It did, regardless. Okay. Let's just cut these out to begin with and make a little accordion notebook. Now we've got this and this. I think, let's trim that. And you can make accordion journals out of anything at any width or any depth. It's simple, but right here we just want to make an accordion booklet. It'll fit in my journal that is very full already. And add it. So, there. How are we going to do this? In this particular case, I'm going to make each part of the accordion part equal. So 2 inches. And I'm measuring using my mat because, yeah, that's the way that's been most successful for me. When I bring a scissor out, I think my brain sort of misfires. Let's put this on here. There we go. All right. Here. Oh, this has to. Here we go. Keep it straight. Yeah, so I belong to this collaboration. I did a video last year of my craft room and got some really good ideas. The organizer is Cara Brandon Creations, and she did it last year also with Dana K. White, who is an organizer. And she has this concept of, well, she has a number of concepts, but one of them is 1 hour better. Meaning, if you're going to start a project, in 1 hour, what can you do to improve your craft room? One of the helpful questions that I found last year was, let's see, something went wrong here. If I was looking for this item, where would I look for it? So that's about putting things away. And that was transformational for me, because I realized I reach for things, and where I reach for them may or may not be the place where I put them away. So if I am reaching someplace and my item isn't there, where should it be? And I went and, redid a few different things in my room, and I'm going to show you next week on Tuesday the things that remained the same and the things I changed. And the week that I'm on is supposed to be about momentum, keeping momentum. And so I have a few ideas and concepts I'm going to share that's helped me maintain momentum in my craft room and in my crafting, which included an entire year of doing at least one video, many times 2 videos, and in a week. That's why you're seeing this on a Tuesday. And okay. It allowed me to reach more than 1,000 subscribers, which was, you can have little goals if you're doing something regularly. And that was one of my little goals. All right. Now I'm working on crafting and speaking at the same time, which with varying results. Here we go. I hope you can see this. I had an interesting start to the day. I have an arm where I put my iPhone. I attach it to it so that I can record. And one of the angle bars on the arm, the filming arm, it broke this morning. How delightful. Start to the week. I'm being facetious. So that caused me to sort of reassess, and I've ordered another arm. So we'll see how that one works. But in the meantime, I'm sort of precariously perched. My phone is not in its usual spot, so I'm not able to fully anticipate where am I on the camera pointing down, and I really hope I'm okay for you to watch. Thank you for watching. I realize I don't say that enough, especially if I'm trying to film and work and talk at the same time. I lose my train of thought. And I really would like to say thank you for watching. You're valuable. Watching is so kind. I want to get right down to the crafting, and often I don't think I'm fast enough for that. Because that's something I like when I watch other creators, when they get down to the crafting right away. What are some of the things that you value about those creators that you do watch on YouTube? How do they do things that you like? I would love it if you'd leave a comment. That would help me greatly if I knew how to do things better. More effectively. Because if I'm going to do something, I like to do things the best possible way. Do you like seeing creators' faces on the video at certain times? Obviously, you need to have a top-down view to learn what they're doing, but yeah, I've never actually shown my face. And that's one of the reasons I decided to actually do these videos, because I didn't have to show my face. Okay, here we are. There is an accordion journal, just like so. How to decorate it? That is. Gee, Lori, that's a good question. I would like to have some of the little creatures from Junk Journal January UK represented. So who do I have printed small enough that would work? That's too big. That might be small enough. Let's just do a few together. You get the idea then, and go from there. I'll decorate it and show you. I'll finish the decorating and show you on Friday. This is Stormy Sky Distressing, and it's been what I've been using regularly. I like the blue. I had it in my space where I keep the distressings, but you'll see next Tuesday. Yeah. Do you have a problem or issues about keeping your craft room organized? How often do you organize? Clean up. Now, not everybody works well in an organized space. Some people really need they need a way to spread out. Otherwise, they don't feel comfortable if everything's put away. And other people need to see all of their items. Otherwise, they forget they have them. Yeah, we're all different, aren't we? What's your style of storing items? Do you put things away? Or are you a person that just needs to spread out? When I was first crafting, I would bring my things out of the baker's boxes, which is still where I keep them, in baker's boxes. And I'd end up with this tiny little space on my table, barely room enough to craft. And then when we moved into this new house a year and a half ago, I had 2 tables. So that you'll see that in last year's video. I had them side by side. I have windows directly in front of me. And I realized something over the past year, and I'll show you how it changed in Tuesday's video. Anyhow, if you have challenges with decorating, challenges with keeping the space where you craft neat, I recommend watching some of the videos that the collaborative group are they're doing videos on YouTube of their craft spaces and cleaning up, and the thoughts that Dana K. White has about, I like it here. I'm going to put this one here. Nope, I'm not. See, I'm going to put things over here too. Maybe I'll do it this way. One of these points. I'll link below in the description to the collaboration of clearing up, cleaning up, organizing, resetting your craft space. And you can see if there's any ideas that you could incorporate into your space and your way of crafting. Your room or your corner or your kitchen table or wherever you craft. I've crafted in small areas, an RV. I've crafted in apartments where I shared a space with my husband. Poor fellow, I kept encroaching on him. Anyhow, regardless of how large or small your space is, having it work for you is what the collaboration with Cara Brandon Creations is all about. Okay, so we have an accordion and rest. I think these little creatures are all resting. One of the people that so her channel is The Vintage Button. She imagined, and she created the prompts, she imagined that these winter journals are a representation of hibernation and rest. Of course, hibernation, that's a part of it. So these little animals are resting. Where shall we place this? I could go here. I wonder. Here? And then it would unfold like this, or like this. Or like this. I just have to make sure it's not upside down. Yeah, like this. And then a little, some kind of clip. And I don't know what kind of clip. To keep it closed would be important. This is too big, but this might work. I gilded this with gilding wax when I was playing with that. What do you think? If I glue this down, maybe just a paper clip would work there. What do you think? Or it could be here in the middle. I don't know. Where would you put it? Maybe here. Think about the bulk, because it has some bulk to it. Might gild the edges. I wonder, could I attach it underneath like this? I could. Or some other kind of place to attach. I don't have to attach it. I could put it inside the envelope. There. I think I'll do that for this moment. It's the easiest one. Oh well. Okay. We'll see you again on Friday, and I'm going to keep working on this journal, and I'm going to be making a video about my craft room for next Tuesday, Tuesday the 27th. Bye for now. It's Lori at Positive Thanks Living. I pray you have wonderful time crafting.